moral obligation to be intelligent is a concise but forceful argument that treats intelligence not merely as a personal gift or academic skill, but as a moral duty owed to oneself and to society. John Erskine contends that many of the gravest human evils do not arise from malice, but from laziness of mind, unexamined opinion, and the refusal to think carefully about the consequences of one's beliefs and actions. To be intelligent, in his sense, is not simply to be clever or well informed, but to habitually examine evidence, weigh arguments, and discipline one's thinking so that judgment is guided by reason rather than impulse, habit, or authority. Erskine begins by challenging the common assumption that moral failure is primarily a matter of bad intentions. He argues instead that people often do wrong because they do not take the trouble to understand what they are doing. Prejudice, superstition, and blind obedience flourish not because people are evil, but because they are intellectually careless. When individuals accept opinions secondhand because they are popular, traditional, or emotionally satisfying, they surrender their responsibility as thinking beings. This surrender, Erskine insists, is itself a moral failure, since human beings possess reason precisely in order to govern their lives wisely. A central theme of the essay is Erskine's distinction between intelligence and mere education or information. One can be highly educated, widely read, or technically skilled and still fail the moral obligation to be intelligent. Intelligence requires active engagement, questioning assumptions, testing claims against evidence, and revising beliefs when facts demand it. Erskine criticizes those who hide behind slogans, party lines, or fashionable ideas, noting that such people often appear confident while actually avoiding the hard work of thought. True intelligence is uncomfortable because it forces one to confront complexity, uncertainty, and the possibility of being wrong. Erskine also emphasizes the social consequences of intellectual irresponsibility. In democratic societies especially, citizens wield power through opinions, votes, and public discourse. When people fail to think carefully, they contribute to injustice, poor governance, and collective folly. Demagogues and propagandists thrive on intellectual laziness, manipulating emotions and half-truths to mobilize uncritical crowds. Thus, the obligation to be intelligent is not only personal but civic. Society depends on citizens who can reason independently, resist manipulation, and deliberate honestly about the common good. Another important aspect of the essay is Erskine's insistence on intellectual humility. To be intelligent does not mean to believe oneself superior or infallible. Rather, it means recognizing the limits of one's knowledge and remaining open to correction. He warns against dogmatism, the refusal to reconsider one's beliefs, as one of the greatest enemies of intelligence. Genuine thinking requires patience, self-discipline, and a willingness to suspend judgment until one has adequate grounds for it. This humility, paradoxically, strengthens moral character by aligning conviction with truth rather than ego. In conclusion, the moral obligation to be intelligent presents intelligence as a form of moral courage. Erskine calls readers to resist mental laziness, emotional reasoning, and unexamined loyalty, urging them instead to cultivate habits of clear thought and honest inquiry. Intelligence, in his view, is not optional or elitist. It is a responsibility inseparable from human dignity and freedom. By thinking carefully and responsibly, individuals not only improve their own lives, but also help create a more just, humane, and rational society.